Hi there, Libra. Welcome to the beginning of August 2025 Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I'm experimenting with, I've done this before, doing a tarot reading for the first part of a month. If you're interested in love readings, I have a love reading on my second channel, which I'm kind of a tarot reading. And it's my second channel is called Tarot Alchemy with Rain and Moon. So I have a Libra forecast for that. And I also have on this channel, I have an August horoscope for your sign if you haven't seen it or heard it. It's not really a video, and a visual video. So you can check that out. Okay. I just did a reading, and I started out saying Virgo, but then I started talking about you, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could have this reading for Libra because it was so cool, but I can't do it because it's too confusing. These general tarot readings can be on any topic, but I try to cover the bases, for people who are going through different things. All right, let's see what's going on here. We have two major arcana cards. We have the Strength card and the Emperor. And the Strength card is connected to Leo. We're in Leo season. We have a Leo retrograde, so that's important to note too. Until August 11th, and that's within the time frame of this video, this reading. And also we have a full moon in Aquarius, which is a fellow air sign, and that trines you, so that's a nice angle. Well, allegedly trines you, depending on, but I mean, those two signs trine each other in astrology, so it's a friendly angle, not a tense one. And this is taking place in your fifth house, which is the house of love and creativity. So there could be some developments in this area with love matters. And by the way, I mean, it could be, if you could be coupled, and this could have nothing to do with that particular relationship, other than maybe you have realized that you're out of love with that person, or that you're in love with somebody else. That could be what is happening. Could be a creative time for you. The heart of the matter is the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of material wealth, on the worldly level. This is a card of also apprenticeship. So somebody who is training, maybe you're a student teacher, you're starting your student teaching, or something where you're still learning the ropes. But it can be somebody who is bringing their A game to their work, like you're doing stellar work. And I think that you will be financially compensated for that. This is a good money card in general. Of course, it could always be somebody who is an earth sign who is not, in your life in some way. So Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Capricorn is a fellow cardinal sign, so I could see that. I could see how that would possibly be a thing. In the past position, we have the Strength card. Again, this is connected to Leo, and this could be someone who has been in your life. Maybe this is either the Pentacles is the person that you are deciding whether or not to leave, which would make sense because you may have gotten together with that person for financial security reasons, and really this Leo individual is more in alignment with you in terms of your goals and your personality and that sort of thing. Certainly fire and air go together better than air and earth in general. That's, a broad generalization, obviously. But anyway, the strength card can speak to somebody who's been through a lot, and you have, gained confidence and resilience. That's, what strength can be, is resilience through that kind of, if you want to call it a test or something along those lines. You might have gained quite a bit from that. And the Eight of Pentacles is you moving forward with, understanding what it's like. How I see it in terms of like work related matters and money related matters is, or I said matters, not manners, is that the person they've been through hard times financially, so they know, what they don't want, and they know like what has held them back, what has kept them from achieving what they want to achieve. So an example would be if you worked in an environment where if you didn't have like certain credentials or an education, and not that you didn't have intelligence, it's very important because a lot of Libra people are very intelligent, but just the credentials, it kind of like worked against you. And so you are going after those things. You're going after the, certification or what have you. And you have to go through, you have to jump through some hoops basically. But the end game is you're going to be able to make more money and have more autonomy, more freedom. And that's the goal. The higher message is the Six of Cups. This is a card of the past. When I think of it in terms of like anything related to career, and if a person's really confused about that and like, what should they do? I think of people who had some kind of passion when they were young, and usually it's more like artistic things because that's what can get dismissed as, oh, well, that's their hobby, or that's just like something the kids do. And then you kind of forget about it, and maybe it's time to go back to it. It never left. You never stopped wanting it. This is also a soulmate card. So that's another thing too that I want to point out, is that the Eight of Pentacles to me, like if it's relationship related, can be to me somebody who's trying too hard. They're trying to be everything to someone, and it's a two-way street. If you're with the right person, you don't have to be perfect. But if you're with the wrong person, you can never do anything right. And the Six of Cups is about that soulmate. And I realize that, that's kind of an overused term, or it sounds kind of maybe kind of pie in the sky or something like that. But when I say soulmate, it's kind of like if we think of mate as like a partner. It doesn't have to be like the end all be all, but it's on the soul level, which means that it's not just about the money. It's not just about the status or the looks or the whatever. It's about the person who gets you at a deep level. And I think we all want that, but not every person values that because, we've been conditioned to think that other things are like more important. And, of course, that's misleading. And it ends up with people finding out the hard way that that's not true. So, well, crosses you as the Queen of Cups, so you may be kind of shutting off your intuition. This is a very intuitive card. This is also a card of the artist and the psychic. And also there are going to be some Libra people who have psychic ability. Everyone has psychic ability, but I mean to the point where they may be good at doing this as their service to others, which they're getting paid for. And so you might be turning your back on that because you're so into that pursuit of making money, or something that is what you consider very solid. And yes, I mean, it's not that you can't do both either, but if you are doing something because you want to have that backup, always have that backup, then at least make time for your soul mission, as it were, because that might be what is really going on here. Well, the card that is the energy coming in is the Emperor. This is connected to Aries, which is your opposite sign, and it is a card of kind of a take charge, kind of a vibe here. Getting your house in order. That was what came into my mind, because this is numbered 4 in astrology. The 4th house is the house of home and family. But the Emperor is about law and order. There's an external version of this, and this can actually be people who are cops and soldiers. So if that's somebody in your life, maybe they're going to play a big part in the month of August for you. But it's also this idea on an internal level, which is really the most important, because ultimately we can't control other people. And it's really about controlling yourself. This is the archetype of the father, the Emperor. So what does the father represent? The father represents an authority figure. And we think of authority figures as telling other people what to do. What about if we tell ourselves what to do? What do we call that? I would call that discipline. Especially when consistency is involved. So this may be a time when you need to really embrace that, because it's going to help you to integrate the creative and the material. The outcome, a very hopeful card, the 6 of Wands. So another card that's associated with Leo, but in the minor arcana, taking your bow, receiving recognition. I believe that's a laurel wreath that she has on one of the wands. I also think it's about honoring oneself. So we have the 6 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. 6 is connected to Venus, and that's your ruler, and that has to do with beauty. So any way that you can create beauty in the world, and art is definitely one of the top ways that is done. But if this is about relationships, are you with somebody who sees your beauty, not your physical appearance, but what your talents are, and really plays them up, isn't threatened by them, isn't trying to diminish them, but really says, wow, you're really good at that. That can be the yardstick that you use to determine, whether or not to stay somewhere, whether or not to invest your energy somewhere. Same in the workplace. The person, the company that really sees the employee's worth and isn't just seeing when they make a mistake, when they trip up, but seeing what they bring to the table and honoring that. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer, but I do the tarot too, obviously. I have astrological readings, tarot readings. I have combination readings. I have package deals where I have more than one reading for a special price. Oh yeah, that's something I haven't been mentioning. I should be mentioning. I have a special deal going on right now with my natal chart interpretation and my transit readings. They are reduced to $49.49 through August 9th. In the 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So they're already reduced. There's no code. You can just order that way. And if you've never gotten a reading from me, that could be a great introduction. But I do have package deals that are even more of a value. And so you can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.